There is a rumour out there, Beth, that Jurgen Klopp, head of global operations at Red Bull, has spoken to Benjamin Šeško and said that he should go to Newcastle. And everybody's saying, that would be very smart because then Alexander Isak will be free to go to Liverpool and Manchester United, the big rival, will miss out on Benjamin Šeško. Can you confirm or deny these reports, Beth?
I've not had that verified by anybody. I think it makes a nice story, you've got to say, haven't you? Jurgen Klopp potentially influencing and helping Liverpool on that side of things. And I'm sure that if he was inclined to do that, he would. But no, I think there'll be way more factors at play there with Benjamin Sesko's potential move to the Premier League. I mean, you look at it from an outsider's perspective and you think Newcastle, from a footballing perspective, makes more sense. You know, as a project, they're in a much better place than Manchester United are at the moment. But then Manchester United, and regardless of where they finish in the table, they're still a huge institution who can, you know, first of all, pay a lot of money, but also, you know, you never quite know what they're going to do and what they're going to be capable of. And even if they're in the worst times, that, you know, they're still capable of winning trophies. We've seen that over the past couple of seasons. So I think very much it will come down to what the player wants to do there. We've seen Newcastle have a bid rejected earlier on today. So it depends whether they will, you know, feel that they can go higher than that and go back in, and whether United can match that as well.
Let me go there. A bid rejected today. That offer said to not meet evaluations for Benjamin Šeško. Do you like the conspiracy theory era that I'm bringing to the show here today, Ali Moreno?
We just spent 15 minutes or so, the latest 15 minutes or so, having this conversation with Alexander Isak and whether he's coming, he's going, Liverpool, the bid. And we have been doing that for at least, I don't know, the last 3 weeks, it seems like. And somehow magically this came out of nowhere, and it's like, the guy who holds all the cards and has the magnificent idea is Jurgen Klopp, who is going to make it clear for everybody, and somehow is going to make the situation work, and all the pieces are going to fit together because of Benjamin Šeško. If it's difficult to do one deal, imagine trying to pull off 2 deals at the same time. Look, it would seem to make all perfect sense, and all parties would be excited other than Manchester United. As a side note, I would say this. We have spent far too much time talking about Benjamin Šeško. He's a good player, but not good enough for us to continue to do this time and time again, day after day after day. And the fans that think that Benjamin Šeško is the answer for your team, beware. He can score great goals, but he doesn't do that consistently. And if you're putting side by side Isak and Šeško, they're not the same sort of player, and they do not have the same level of productivity. Isak is at a higher level than Benjamin Šeško. And so I would be very careful in saying that somehow these 2 players are equal to each other.
Does it not tell you where Man United are, though, really? Kind of tells you where they are.
Well, you're getting a little dig in at Manchester United here as well, I see.
Listen, whether Klopp said supposedly what he said to him or not, if you're Sesko, surely you're looking at what happened to Alexander Isak in Newcastle and thinking, hold on a second, if I go to Newcastle, there's a possibility that the same thing will happen to me that happened to Isak. I will turn into a world-class player, and I'll be worth twice what I'm worth right now, as opposed to going to Manchester United, who are going to sign a guy who, as Ali says, is far from the finished article, but who is going to have to produce right away. And he's going into a team that are going to be questionable whether they can supply you enough to make you what Newcastle might turn you into. So if you're Sesko, why would you go to Man United over Newcastle? I guess the other thing it tells you is that Manchester United are hanging on to that thread of being one of the giants in football. But if they continue to finish 16th or 15th or whatever it is, even that will disappear.
My apologies, Ali, because I do have one more point on Šeško, and then we'll put it to bed, okay?
No, look, we can keep talking about Šeško.
He hates Šeško.
No,
I want to know what Don thinks about Šeško and whether he'd be happy for him to come to Newcastle.
I mean, breaking news from Ali Moreno. Benjamin Šeško is not as good as Alexander Isak. Breaking news. Dear me, Ali. I'd
Breaking
welcome
news,
him
you
'cause
got
I
a
think he's
beautiful
got
tan.
potential.
Good Lord.
He's not Isak. That's why Isak's £150 million, because he's a complete number 9. He's an all-rounder. You know, Šeško's raw. He's super quick. He wants balls placed down the side. He's a completely different player. That's why I said before at the top of the show where Newcastle need another one. They can't just rely on Šeško getting the types of goals into his 25s, 26s that Isak got. He hasn't hit really, or won't hit them in the Premier League, I wouldn't imagine, in his first season. So Newcastle need an Ollie Watkins. They need a Wissa. They need someone alongside him. But I think he'd be a great signing. I like how he plays. He's not a world beater, not yet, but he's got time on his side. He can learn. Eddie Howe is a coach that we've seen over the years, is very, very good at developing young players. So I think Newcastle would welcome the signing. As I said before, it's just this merry-go-round of if Isak goes, then they'll probably get Šeško. If he wants to go to United, he might, as in Man United, he might get a little bit lost in what they're trying to do. Going into Newcastle, they guarantee him this season anyway, Champions League football. So why would you not make that move to Newcastle?
Best case scenario for Newcastle, and those Newcastle fans that right now are personally hurt by Alexander Isak, would be for Alexander Isak to stay at Newcastle. That would be the best news for Newcastle fans, not Benjamin Šeško coming in.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, won't we?